putting on notice the entire PNP at itong mga station commanders, any transactions of black marketing of this essential medicines should be arrested. Walang exception. Again, I am ordering the police to arrest black marketeers. Dalhin sa istasyon, pasok muna dyan sa silda without exception. Without exception. Kaya ang may-ari, lahat, sabi ko, no exception. Hulihin ninyo ang may-ari. Kung ang sales girl lang, then arrest the owner. No exception. Arrest them and detain them for 24 hours. And I think that this is a serious offense, black marketing. This time, if you do that, talagang upakan ko kayo.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Commission on Elections is set to conduct a preliminary conference of 3 disqualification cases against presidential aspirant Bongbong Marcos Jr. today. But the proceedings have been delayed, as Marcos Jr. has yet to present his medical certificate for his absence. To tell us more about this, we have on the line Greg Gregorio. He's reporting from Manila. Greg, good morning. Could you tell us the situation over there?
Charles, the Commission on Elections First Division is currently holding a preliminary conference for the 3 disqualification cases filed against presidential aspirant Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. These petitions were separately filed by Ilagan et al., Akbayan et al., and Abubakar Mangelen. Common among the petitions is their argument that Marcos Jr. must be disqualified because of his 1995 conviction in violation of the National Internal Revenue Code, which was later on amended with provisions making him perpetually disqualified from holding public office. Akbayan's petition also focused on Marcos's non-filing of ITR for the year 1985 until the 1986 deadline when the amendment was promulgated. Mangelen's petition, meanwhile, also included his petition to nullify Marcos's certificate of nomination and acceptance from Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, or PFP. Mangelen, who is claiming to be the seating president of the political party, questions the validity of the CONA without his signature. An in-person proceeding is being conducted at the session hall of the Comelec inside the Palacio del Gobernador here in Intramuros. But due to protocols, only parties and lawyers are allowed in this session, while the proceedings is being streamed through the Comelec Facebook page. Charles, the preliminary conference was scheduled at 9 a.m., though there was a more than an hour delay as the division required Marcos Jr.'s camp to provide medical certificate of former Senator Marcos to prove that he is unwell. Otherwise, he will be considered as absent. Charles, the proceeding is now ongoing, and at the start of the hearing, Comelec Commissioner Rowena Guanzon mentioned that if Marcos's camp won't be able to provide his medical certificate proving that he is indeed unwell, making him not be able to attend the hearing even via Zoom, Guanzon said the petitions against him will be submitted for decision. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Manila. A barangay in Pasay is now implementing a no vaccine, no entry policy amid the rising number of COVID-19 cases in the area. But not everyone is happy about this new rule. Here's the report.
No vaccine, no entry. That's the policy strictly being enforced at Barangay 183 in Pasay City. The reason for the measure, Barangay 183 currently has the most number of COVID-19 cases among the over 200 barangays in Pasay. COVID-19 cases in the area has reached 103 since January 1. Many residents also have flu symptoms like cough and colds. That's why they expect the case count to continue rising in the coming days.
The implementation talaga ng pagpasok sa mga gate, pag walang vaccine card, di nakapasok.
Barangay officials are working doubly hard to get residents, renters, and employees tested against the coronavirus. They are offering free RT-PCR testing at Newport City.
Mabilis, talagang mabilis, sobrang bilis. Zero lang, isang araw lang, sunod na araw, nag-average ako ng 8, tapos nag-14, tapos biglang naging 30 plus, 36, biglang nag-60 plus. Ganun kabilis ang pagdami.
Ngayon, nakailan tayo?
Ngayon, sa 139 ako yun eh. Ngayong asop kahapon lang yun.
Persons that cannot provide their vaccine card will not be allowed to enter the barangay. To implement this, only one entrance and exit point are open to travelers. That's why unvaccinated individuals like Rider Michael Gonzalez have no choice but to leave. Gonzalez explained that lining up to get COVID jabs is just a waste of time, but he admitted that choosing not to get inoculated might cause him to transmit the virus to his customers.
Hindi pa ako na-schedule. Papabakuna naman ako. Nagbabiyahe kasi ako, sir. Inayang ko sa araw. Wala kasing sir eh. Sayang yung araw ko eh.
Barangay authorities admit many have voiced their concerns over the new rule. This is especially true for their unvaccinated residents.
Kaya nagtatrabaho ka kung saan ka pupunta, wala ka palang vaccine. Bakit ipa-implement ito? Ang pa natin si order mismo ni Presidente Duterte, no vaccine, no labas. Ang hirap sa kanila, hindi sila nakikinig ng mga balita eh.
But there are those who are in favor of the no vaccine, no entry policy.
Makahawa sila pag hindi sila nagpa-vaccine eh. Hindi para sa sarili nila, para sa ibang tao, siyempre.
Supporters of the policy say this is better than placing the barangay under granular or total lockdown.
Malaking epekto sa kanila. Unang-una pag nag-granular, kasi dati by block kami nag-granular. Siyempre, ang ayuda niyan, hindi kakayanin.
Bakit po, sir?
Sana palaki kasing barangay itong lugar namin. Pinakamalaking barangay ito sa buong Pasay. Ganito na mangyayari na pwede namin gawin. Makontrol namin yung mga pumapasok.
The city government of Pasay logged a total of 810 COVID-19 cases in the city. The Pasay General Hospital have closed down their emergency room and would no longer accept even severe or critical COVID patients. This as 44 healthcare workers in the hospital also got COVID-19, while their ICU beds, wards, ER isolation and ante-room are also at full capacity. Although they clarified that they are willing to accept patients needing to undergo extreme life-threatening surgical procedures, but outpatients are recommended to consult via telemedicine for the next 10 days. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
If you happen to pass through Quiapo this weekend, you better take note of the closed streets, despite the suspension of this year's traslasyon. Here are the details.
Devotees of the Black Nazarene started to flock to the Quiapo Church to attend Mass this first Friday of 2022, but they were told by police officers that gatherings are not allowed as of this time, even outside. This couple went to Quiapo all the way from Tanay just to get a glimpse of the image of the Black Nazarene.
Kaya po kami nagpunta ng maaga para makasilip man lang.
Sa loob sa bahay?
Hindi, dito lang po sa may labas. Kasi hindi na, alam ko, hindi na rin papapasok eh.
This devotee, meanwhile, went to Quiapo upon hearing the news regarding the changes for this year's celebration. But she was not allowed to go any further and was told that the church is off limits to devotees.
Simba po sana. Sabi sa news kasi bukas daw ng 7. Pero hindi bali. Makita ko lang yung harapan. Iikot muna ako doon sa may quinta para makita ko yung harapan.
Quiapo Church is closed in adherence to IATF guidelines and upon the President's order to refrain from conducting religious activities for the meantime.
May inilabas na resolution yung IATF suspending all activities for the Feast of the Black Nazarene. At the same time, may kautusan ng ating Presidente na gawing online na lang ang mga religious activities.
Even vendors are not allowed to peddle their goods in the premises.
Zero vendor na po tayo ngayon. Wala na rin po tayong palalapitin pa.
2,000 policemen were deployed in the area this early morning to ensure that no one can go near the church.
As early as now, we are deploying more or less 2,000 ng mga kapulisan natin.
Despite a suspension of the annual Translacion, adjacent streets in Quiapo Church vicinity were also closed. That includes a southbound lane of Quezon Boulevard from A. Mendoza, Fugoso, up until Quezon Bridge. The westbound lane of España Boulevard from P. Campa until A. Mendoza. The whole stretch of Evangelista Street from P. Paterno Street up until Recto. Raon from Evangelista until Quezon Boulevard is also closed. The same goes for C. Palanca Street from Plaza Lagson until Quezon Ilalim. And the northbound lane of Rizal Avenue from Carriedo until Recto. Even Buso Street from Plaza Santa Cruz until Rizal Avenue is closed to traffic. Motorists can instead traverse the following alternative routes. Vehicles to Quezon Avenue from Mendoza may take a right turn to Fugoso Street, left to Rizal Avenue, or at Severino Reyes Street up until your destination. If you're from Quezon City, you may traverse the westbound lane of España, turn left at Nicano Reyes Street, right to Recto or P. Campa up until Fugoso Street until your destination. The Quiapo Church is closed to the public up until January 9, but the faithful can join their masses online via their Facebook page. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, we are One News.
Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. More areas in the country have been placed under the stricter alert level 3 as the country records more Omicron variant cases. President Rodrigo Duterte reiterated his threat to limit the mobility of unvaccinated individuals. And national artist for literature F. Shunil Jose passed away on Thursday night at the age of 97. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.